Dozens of people from the Palestinian territory are protesting a plan by Israel regarding West Bank settlements. The planned annexation was expected to start today, but international leaders successfully appealed to Israel to postpone it. Earlier this week, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, met with the United States and Israel ambassadors to the Holy See to discuss the issue. Joining us now from Rome is Courtney, Rome correspondent for Catholic News Agency, who has been following this story for us. Courtney, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you, Tracy.
So, Courtney, do we know what was discussed in that meeting among Cardinal Parolin and the U.S. and Israel ambassadors to the Holy See?
The Vatican Secretary of State met with the U.S. ambassadors ahead of the highly anticipated July 1st date to express his concern that Israelis' potential unilateral actions could jeopardize the peace process between the Israelis and the Palestinians. He also expressed concern of its potential repercussions for the rest of the Middle East. Now, the Cardinal was not the only one to express such concern. The United Nations, the European Union, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson each issued strong statements urging Israel to call off its annexation plans, saying that they violated international law. Ultimately, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced yesterday that the plans to annex parts of the West Bank have been delayed. The Prime Minister's office said discussions with Americans have been taking place this week and further discussions are planned.
Courtney, do you know, has the U.S. Embassy to the Holy See said anything about the meeting?
I actually spoke with the representative from the U.S. Embassy to the Holy See today, who told me that the U.S. ambassador said the meeting was productive and covered a range of issues, including their common goal for peace in the Middle East. Now, it's important to note that the Vatican Secretary of State met with both the U.S. ambassador and the Israeli ambassador because the Americans are playing a key role in Israel's decision. If the Israeli annexation of the West Bank does go forward sometime in the future, Israel will be looking to the U.S. for support and recognition of the areas that would be annexed, which could be up to 30% of the territory.
Courtney, we only have about a minute or so left, but I do want to get to this last question. Can you talk about the Vatican's stance on the dispute between Israel and the Palestinian territory?
The Holy See has reaffirmed its support for a two-state solution repeatedly this year amid these ongoing debates. In the most recent Vatican statement issued this week, the Holy See reaffirmed its support for the internationally recognized borders, saying both Israel and Palestine deserve a right to exist in peace and security. The Vatican Secretary of State also appealed to Israel and the U.S. to do everything possible to reopen direct negotiations with Palestine, citing Pope Francis's prayer for peace in the Middle East and the Holy Land, in which he urged leaders to say yes to dialogue and no to violence.
Well, Courtney, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. Courtney Moraz, Rome correspondent for Catholic News Agency. Thank you again, Courtney.
Thank you, Tracy. Have a good evening.